Once the planning for the site is complete, it's time to start producing the actual content. Here you start with the first item in your site inventory and work your way down until all the content has been produced. My recommendation is to do this in a word processing application on your computer. Now, there are several reasons for this. The first one is pretty obvious. Using a word processing application, you can take advantage of all the tools that are in the application, like spell check and grammar check and thesauruses and stuff like that, to make sure your content is actually written and presented properly. The other reason is just as important. Once you start producing the actual content, you'll often discover that your original plans set out in the site inventory don't necessarily match with the real content. So let me give you an example. In the original site inventory, we have a page called Services Lander. So the idea was we would have a page that has a list of all the services available and then a full breakdown of everything that's in those services. However, when we started writing out the content for the services, we quickly discovered that each of the services has a fairly lengthy explanation of what is going on. There are also individual images for each of the services, and for a visitor, it would be better if they could land on a specific page just for that service. So that means we have to change the site inventory to reflect this, and it also means when we build out the content on the real site, we have to create individual pages for each of these services. And then we have to structure the pages in such a way that you can go and look at all the services or just a specific service. The same can be said for other types of content. Originally, we had split apart the portfolio content from the blog posts, but upon reflection and when we built out the content, we realized it actually makes more sense to blend the portfolio items into the blog. So if people are going to the blog and reading the new content, they'll also see new portfolio items show up. To separate blog posts from portfolio items, we can use a simple category so that you can navigate to just portfolio items or just regular blog post items, but in reality, it'll all be stored in the same place. As you build out content in your word processing application, you're also likely to want to add in images or other media items. To simplify this process, I like to place the document or documents for all the content that you want to place on the site in a folder together with everything else I need. So here you see I have a folder that has all the logos and images and everything that's going to go on the front page, as well as a folder with all my images and media items for each individual post. So here they're broken down into the About page, where we have images for the showcase photos, and we also have images for each of the team members. I have all my blog posts broken down into individual folders with the images for each of the posts, so that as I start moving this content from my Word document into WordPress itself, I can simply go to the folder in question for that particular post or page, grab the images, and place them in individually. That way, I've done all my planning in advance and I have everything prepared, so when it's time to move my content to the live WordPress site, I can simply go and grab the content I need and place it into the pages. To start that process, I've set up a standard WordPress site on our SiteGround account. You can see it right here, and you can also visit the end result of this project by visiting business.wpdiy.net/wp. Right now, what you're seeing is a standard install of WordPress with the Hello World post, a sample page, and one comment. The only thing I've done to this site so far is change the setting for permalinks so that the permalinks display properly up here in the address bar. All of this was covered in WordPress DIY Setting Up WordPress, so if you followed that course, you should be at the exact same point I am right now. The next step is to add in the content from my document into the site itself. Now, here I'm not going to walk you through setting up every single item, but I will show you how to build 2 pages. I want to build that services page and then build one of the sub-pages for the services. So to start off, I'm going to create a new page, and I can do that either by going to the WordPress toolbar, selecting New and Page, or I can go to the back end of my site and go to Pages and add New. The first page I'm going to create is the Services Lander. So this will be the page where you see all the services listed. I'll just call it Services. Then I will jump to my document and find the services breakdown. So here you see we have services, and then we have a list of all the different items. So I'm going to go and grab the top text here for services, copy it, go back to my browser, and then I'm going to find the toolbar here over the content editor and click on the toolbar toggle at the far right-hand side to open the second toolbar. And from here, I'm going to click on Paste as Text so that I paste in text without all the styling from Microsoft Word. And then I'll just paste in the text. Now that I've pasted in the text, I need to list out all the different services that we're providing. So I'll create an unordered list or a bullet list, jump back to my document, and copy out each of these names. So landscape design, and landscape contracting and sustainable landscaping, and planting plans, hardscaping, and finally, water features and garden structures. Now you'll notice as I do so, I'm not creating any links yet because I first have to create the pages that we are going to link to. Now I'm going to publish this page, and then I'll create one of the pages that we're going to link to. So I'll create the first one called Landscape Design. To create a new page, I'll simply click on Add New up here under Edit Page to add a new page. Then I'll scroll back to the top here and find Landscape Design, and here I'll just copy out all the content. Again, click on Paste as Text to paste it in. And this is going to be called Landscape Design, so I'll cut that out, clean up a bit, and paste it in. Then I have to change some of the markup here, so I'll change these zeros into an actual bullet list. And then clean this up and make sure everything looks okay. It does. And then I'm going to make one crucial change. Over here on the right-hand side under Page Attributes, I'm going to change the page parent to the Services page and click Publish. So now two things will happen. First of all, you'll see that the URL to this page that I just created will now become services/landscape design to clearly identify this as a sub-page of the Services page. The other thing that changes is on the back end of my site, you can see that landscape design is now a sub-item of services. And as you add more pages in with the Services page as a parent, you'll see it listed down here. Now that I've created the landscape design page, I can go back to Services, select Landscape Design here, click Insert Edit Link, link to existing content, and then link to Landscape Design. Click Add the link, Update, and then when I go view this page, you'll see here I have Services, Landscape Design, and if I click on Landscape Design, I go directly to the Landscape Design page. Now, of course, we're going to go way further with this. We're going to add images, we're going to add in all the different pages, and all of this will come together to create all the content on our site. Then we'll reconvene in the next movie to create a custom menu so the visitor can navigate to any page or any post within the site with ease.